Hello students, a very good evening to all of you. How are you? Please tell me in the comments, how are you? I hope you all are doing great. So, I am very excited to tell you that we have got the best results, we have got the best NEET results, and being a part of Sri Chaitanya, I am feeling very proud that we have got AIR1. Isn't it a great news? Yes. So, if you want to grab this opportunity to get success in your dream exam, in your NEET exam, and if you want to become a doctor, so then you can please join us. You can join Sri Chaitanya and you can join Sri Chaitanya Gosala campus. This is the best campus all over India. So now today we will be discussing animal kingdom, 3 phylums of the animal kingdom. So beta, all of you, all of the 11th class students, they are finding very it is very difficult for you all to understand animal kingdom and to learn animal kingdom. So today I will be teaching you these 3 phylums in a very simplified manner. Alright. So are you ready? Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys excited for today's session? Please tell me in the comments. Okay. So we are going to start with the very first phylum of animal kingdom, that is Porifera, right? So let's start Porifera. So as you can see in the slide, they are very beautiful, right? And I must tell you that you should be knowing that, and the life first started in which habitat? It has started on land or it has started in water? You must be knowing, I know. So if you know, then you can answer me in the comments. Yes, life has started, the first life has originated in water. So Porifera also, you will not find them around yourself, you will find them in the water. They cannot be found on land, they will be found only in water. Alright. So these are beautiful creatures which are aquatic, and when you will go for the sea diving, then only you can see all these beautiful creatures. And a very interesting thing about them is that, you know, most of the animals can move. They can go from one place to another place, right? But they cannot move. They all are sessile. So can you imagine these kind of animals which cannot move? Yes? We can't imagine our life without locomotion, right? But they are like that. They cannot move. They stick to a surface, and for the whole life they will be like that. They will be sticking to a surface and they will be there for the whole lifetime. Okay, so they are these kind of creatures. And as the name suggests, they are Porifera. So pori means spores. They have numerous spores on their body. So let's start a very interesting phylum, that is animal kingdom. Beta, if you want to study each and every phylum of the animal kingdom, and if you want to remember, then you have to create your interest, right? This is the very first step that you have to take. Alright, so let's start with the phylum Porifera, and let me tell you first of all the common name. They are commonly known as what? They are commonly known as sponges. They are commonly known as sponges, everyone. Sponges, or you can also call them pore bearers. Pore bearers, alright? Pore bearers. So why we are calling them like this? Because they have numerous pores. If you can see this figure of NCERT in which some of the poriferans are shown, so you can see some pores in their body. Yes, over their body you can see some pores. So that is why they are known as pore bearers or sponges, just like a sponge. In a sponge also you will see so many pores, right? So they have numerous pores. They have numerous pores. And if we talk about these pores, These pores are ostia and osculum. These pores are known as ostia and osculum. So, ostia are generally so many in number, and they are many in number, they are many, and they are for entry of water, everyone. If we talk about osculum, they are generally one, but they can be more than one also in some of the sponges, and they are for the exit of water. They are for the exit of water. Exit of water, all right. So the numerous pores on the body of Porifera, of sponges, they are either ostia or osculum, okay. So many of them are known as ostia. One of the ostia is a plural term, right. So one pore which is meant for the entry of water, it can also be called as ostium. Ostium is singular, ostia is plural, all right. So so ostia is for entry of water, that you have to remember, and osculum is for exit of water, that you have to remember. Coming to their habitat, beta, I have told you already that they all are aquatic. They all are aquatic. You will not find them on land, right? And in aquatic also, they are mostly marine. They are mostly marine. So marine means they are found in the salty water, okay, like in the sea, okay, like in the oceans. So they will be found in the marine water, right? So mostly marine. If we talk about their habit, beta, if we talk about their habit, so I have already told you, they are like, I don't know how they are surviving without locomotion, but yes, they are like that. They remain attached to something which is known as substratum. They can either attach to a rock, they can either attach to a plant body in the water. There will be some plants in the water, right? So their habit is they all are sessile. They all are sessile. That means they cannot move. They cannot move. All right. They remain attached to substratum. They remain attached to substratum. So what is this substratum? This is that surface to which they are getting attached, all right. So if you want to see here, can you see a surface to which this euspongia is getting attached here? You can consider it as a substratum, all right. Now coming to the general features. So I have already discussed the basis of classification in my previous class of animal kingdom, and there I have discussed some of the points related to all the phylums. Like I have discussed the symmetry of all the phylums, I have discussed how many germ layers are there in every phylum, I have discussed whether coelom is there or not in every phylum, like that, okay. Body plan, notochord, segmentation, and level of organization, all those things I have already discussed with you. So now you can quickly revise that. The first point we have discussed was cellular level of organization. Cellular level of organization. Then we have discussed that they are mostly asymmetrical. Mostly asymmetrical. So mostly asymmetrical, that means some of them can have another symmetry as well, and that will be radial symmetry. Obviously bilateral symmetry is a very advanced symmetry that cannot be found in these organisms. So now most of them will be asymmetrical. Then if we talk about their body plan, they have cell aggregate body plan. They have cell aggregate body plan, okay. Then if we talk about their coelom, they are acoelomates, beta. They are acoelomates, and a very important feature of them is they are the first multicellular animals. They are the primitive multicellular animals. That is why we are discussing Porifera as the very first phylum, right? So they are primitive multicellular animals. Primitive multicellular. First multicellular animals. So till now I have discussed Porifera is commonly known as sponges or pore bearers because they have numerous pores on their body. Ostia for entry of water, many in number. Osculum is for exit of water, generally one in number. Then I have told you they all are aquatic and mostly marine. So when I say mostly marine, that means some can be fresh water. For example, this spongilla, see, here you can see this. This is a fresh water sponge. This spongilla is a fresh water sponge. Fresh water sponge. The common name of spongilla is also fresh water sponge. This is spongilla beta. Alright, then I have told you they all are sessile and they cannot move, they remain attached to the substratum. If we talk about the general features, they have cellular level of organization, they are mostly asymmetric, they have cell aggregate body plan, they are acoelomates, that means they don't have any coelom and they don't have any germ layer as well, and they are primitive multicellular animals, right? So let me move ahead and let us discuss the body wall of the Porifera. Why I am teaching you the body wall? In NCERT, body wall is not discussed in detail, but a very important point is given, a very important cell is given, and that cell has a name, collar cell or choanocyte. So because of that cell, I am going to teach you the body wall a little bit, okay, a little bit. So see, if you consider this as the body wall, okay, if you consider this as the body wall, if you consider this as the body of the sponge, right, let us consider this as the body of the sponge. So can you see some pores here, like this pore, this pore, this pore, this pore? These are beta ostia, okay, these are ostia, they are for the entry of water. So now you can also see one exit here, that is known as osculum. That is known as what? Osculum. Then you can see a cavity inside the sponge body, and this cavity is beta spongiocele. Spongiocele. The cavity of the sponge body is known as spongiocele, right? So now the water will come, it will reach into the spongiocele, and there are some cells here, let me make those cells for you. There are some cells here like this, there are some cells here like this, okay, there are some cells here like this which have flagella beta. They have flagella and they have a collar of microvilli, okay, they have, if I draw it here like this, they have a nucleus, they have a collar of microvilli, like this, and they also have a flagella. So they are uniflagellated cells, they have a flagella like this, and this flagella helps in the formation of the water current. So when the water enters through the ostia, when it comes into the spongiocele, then with the help of this flagella, the movement of flagella, the water goes out through the osculum. Like that, the water transport takes place in the body of the sponge, right? So now the important thing is, what is the name of this cell? This cell is choanocyte or collar cell. So if I now explain you the body wall, so then in the body wall there are three layers, everyone. There are three layers. This is the outermost layer known as pinacoderm. This is the outermost layer known as pinacoderm. This is the middle layer known as mesohyle or mesenchyme, and this is the innermost layer in which choanocytes are there. This is known as choanoderm. So this is the outermost layer, this is the middle layer, and this is the innermost layer. So in the innermost layer, this layer consists of collar cells. Why we are calling it by this name collar cell? Because it has a collar of microvilli. You can see here, this is the collar of microvilli. And what is the function of this collar of microvilli, everyone? The function is filtration of food basically. The function is filtration of food. So Porifera eat its food after filtration. So we can also call them filter feeders. They feed on the food after filtration. So they are filter feeders, alright. Now, so this coenocyte, now you have understood the body wall. In the body wall there are 3 layers, and I have told you what are these 3 layers: spinacoderm, mesohyl and coanoderm. Okay, so we only have to remember about the innermost layer, and that too the cell which is this cell, coenocyte or collar cell, because NCERT is telling you that this cell is lining the spongiocele. This cell is lining the spongiocele. So you can see clearly here that it is lining the spongiocele. Yes or no, everyone? Now if this body wall will fold, okay, let me give you an example. That let us suppose this is the body wall, and let us suppose this body wall will fold like this. If the body wall is going to be fold like this, then this is the body wall, right? 3 layers are there, right? So I am showing it like this. So if the body wall will fold, it will make some canals. It will create some canals like you see. Now this is the ostia. Now this will be ostia. Okay, so the water which will enter into the sponge body, it will first come here in this canal. Is it going into the spongiocele directly from the ostia, everyone? Please tell me. So now, from the ostia, the water is going into a canal. This canal has formed due to the folding of body wall. Alright. So here some another pores will be there. Here some another pores will be there, through which the water will go into this canal, which you can see here. Okay, this canal, this is another canal. So incurrent canal, radial canal, like that, there are the names of the canal. Then ultimately due to this pore, the pore which is present here, the water will come into the spongiocele. The water will come here in the spongiocele, and then it will go out. So in this case, the collar cells are also lining the canals, beta. They will be present here, they will be present here. So the collar cells are lining the spongiocele as well as the canal. Alright. So there is a very important line in NCERT. Let's write that line. That is coenocytes. Coenocytes or collar cells lines the spongiocele, and the canals, So you need to understand from where these canals are forming. These canals are getting formed by the folding of body wall. Okay, and there is a name, there is a perfect name for this feature of Porifera, and that feature is the characteristic feature of Porifera. You will not find this feature in any other phylum. This is known as water vascular system or water canal system. So the characteristic feature of Porifera is water transport. Sorry, if I have said vascular, just forget it. Water vascular system is present in Echinodermata, beta. Here it is water transport or canal system. Water transport or water canal system. So this system is formed by the folding of body wall. Okay, if I will explain this system very briefly, if I have to explain this system to you, there are many types of this system. We don't have to go in the details of the types of water canal system. Okay, but only the simplest type of water canal system is described in NCERT. So that is what it is saying, that the water will enter through ostia. Water will enter through ostia. It will reach into the spongiocele, and then it will come out, it will reach outside body, it will come out of the body through osculum. Alright. So if I have to explain if I have to explain the water transport or water canal system, I can explain it like this. You just have to understand water enters through ostia. Ostia are present in the body wall. Ostia are present in the body wall. Can you see ostia here? Here I have told you ostia. And then the water will reach into the spongiocele, and then through the osculum it will come out of the body. Simple, very, very simple. Water canal system is very simple. Water is going into the body, coming out of the body. That's it. So, through which pore it is going and through which pore it is coming out. That's what you have to remember. Now, coming to the functions of water canal system. Very, very important. The functions of water canal system. If you need to learn the functions, then see, food will be coming along with the water. So, gathering of food is done by the water canal system. Now, oxygen will be coming along with the water. In the water, dissolved oxygen will be there. So, oxygen will be coming in the sponge body. The sponge body will exchange it with the carbon dioxide, and the carbon dioxide will be going out of the body through the water again, okay? Through the osculum, the water will be going out. Then, if, yes, of course, apart from CO2, some metabolic waste will be produced by the porifera. Just like we are producing urea, actually we are producing ammonia, then ammonia is getting converted into the urea, and then that urea is coming out of our body along with the urine, right? So, similarly, most of the aquatic animals, they excrete ammonia, because ammonia is a very, very toxic metabolic waste, and it requires a lot of water for its elimination, right? So, it does not have any scarcity of water, right? It is present in the aquatic medium. So, it is present in the water medium. So, it has lots of water. It will be along with the water, the metabolic waste, that is ammonia, will also be going out. So, we have got to know three functions. First is nutrition, that means gathering of food. Second is respiration, that means exchange of gases. Third is excretion, alright. Third is excretion, and a very, very important function is also in reproduction, which is not directly mentioned in NCERT, but you have to remember. So, reproduction, how it helps in the reproduction, how water canal system helps in the reproduction, beta. For the sexual reproduction, transfer of gametes is necessary, right? So, along with the water, in this sponge body, male gamete will be coming, alright? And when the gamete will be coming, so then it will help in the reproduction. So, how the water canal system helps in the reproduction? By transfer of gametes. By transfer of gametes. So, here in this slide, in this page, I have talked about the body wall. In case of body wall, we have to remember the innermost layer. Innermost layer is coanoderm. Coanoderm has coanocytes, and these are the important cells. These coanocytes, they are lining the spongiocele and they are lining the canals. How the canals are getting formed? Canals are formed by the folding of body wall. This water transport system is also formed by the folding of body wall, alright. And if we talk about the simplest type of water canal system, which is given in NCERT, water enters through ostia into the spongiocele, and through osculum it will go out of the body, and these are the important functions of the water canal system. So, now let us talk about the physiology of porifera. Very, very easy. See, they don't have any system, they have cellular level of organization, right? They don't have any system, but that doesn't mean that they don't respire, that doesn't mean that they don't have digestion, excretion, circulation. It doesn't mean like that. They don't have a specific system for it, because they don't have organ system level of organization. They don't have a specific organ for that function, because they don't have organs, they don't have tissues, but they have cells, okay, and they have this characteristic feature, water canal system. So, all these physiological functions will be performed by porifera. How? First of all, I am talking about the digestion. So digestive system is no doubt absent, but food is required by every animal. Okay, without the food, animal cannot survive. Obviously, any living organism cannot survive without food. Alright. So when it will take food, when the food will come along with the water, it will be taken by the choanocytes, and choanocytes helps in the digestion of the food. So that means the food is going into the cell. Okay, inside the sponge body there is water, in the spongocoel there is water. So the food is going into the cells and then it is getting digested. So it is a very important question of Porifera, that what kind of digestion is taking place, and this digestion is intracellular digestion, everyone. The digestion is intracellular. Intracellular means within the cell, within the cell, within the cell, inside the cell. If we talk about ourselves, right? If we talk about ourselves, we are eating food and that food is going into our alimentary canal, and then inside our alimentary canal, let us suppose the food has reached the stomach or it is in the buccal cavity. So it is not going to enter into the cells. The cells of the buccal cavity or the cells of stomach or the cells of intestine, they are going to produce the juices, the digestive juices. All those juices will come into the lumen of the alimentary canal and the food will be digested. So this kind of digestion is known as extracellular digestion, everyone, right? But when the food is entering into the cell and then it is getting digested, this is known as intracellular digestion. So exclusively intracellular digestion is present in case of Porifera. You can write exclusively. Okay, so you will not find intracellular digestion in any other phylum. Exclusively intracellular means in any other phylum. In the next two phylums also I will tell you intracellular digestion, but there first extracellular digestion is occurring, then intracellular digestion is occurring. Here in case of Porifera, only and only intracellular digestion. Alright. Now coming to the respiration, I have told you water canal system. Water canal system. So along with that water only oxygen is coming and respiration is getting done. Alright, respiration is happening. Then if we talk about circulation, how the food is circulating, so then food can also circulate through the water canal system by the help of water canal system. Other things can also circulate, they can also transport by the water canal system, and even the middle layer is also helping in that. Alright, then if we talk about excretion, that also is performed by the water canal system. Then if we talk about the nervous and sensory control, they are completely absent, They cannot sense, they cannot think, alright, they don't have any nervous system, they don't have any sensory control. Coming to the skeleton, very important, their skeleton is formed by spicules and spongin fibers. Their skeleton is formed by spicules and spongin fibers. So you will find these spicules and spongin fibers in their body wall, So if I will show you here in their body wall, I have roughly drawn this body wall. So here you can just draw some of the fibers like this, you can draw some of the fibers like this, and you can just draw some of the spicules like this, alright, some of the spicules like this. So these are the spicules, and these are the spongin fibers. These are the spongin fibers, just they are like fibers, alright. So just you have to remember spicules and spongin fibers are making the skeleton. Then if we talk about their reproduction, we need to understand first of all we need to know whether they are unisexual or they are bisexual. So beta, they are bisexual. Bisexual means their sexes are not separate. Both the sexes are present in the single organism, right? So when both the sexes are present in a single organism, then that kind of organism will be known as a bisexual organism. So if we talk about the sexuality, they are bisexual or they are monoecious or they are known as hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite. Everyone, please remember this, that the organism can be of two types, right? The organism can be of two types. An organism can be unisexual or it can be bisexual. Unisexual, simply humans. You can take the example of human. I am a female, okay. So, in humans, one organism, either it will be a female or just like me, and some of the organisms will be males, right. So, males have testes in them, males will be producing sperms. So, male will be producing male gamete, female will be producing female gamete, right. So, they are unisexual. Only one type of gamete is produced, only one sex is produced in a single organism, unisexual. Bisexual, they have both the gonads, they have both testes as well as ovaries. So, they can produce both the type of gametes, alright. They can produce both the type of gametes. So, what is the another name for unisexual? Another name for unisexual is dioecious. Dioecious. Never get confused that unisexual is monoecious. Why this can be confusing? Because uni also means single and mono also means single. So, they will not come together. Just remember this, that uni and mono will not come together. Here uni means single sex in one organism. Here mono means in one organism both the sexes, alright. So, here mono means, here mono refers to the one organism, here mono refers to the single sex in one organism, alright. So, do not have to get confused between these terms. Then bisexual can also be called as, here I have told you, hermaphrodite. So, I hope you all guys will not get confused. What is unisexual, what is monoecious, what is bisexual, what is dioecious. Bi and di will not come together, uni and mono will not come together, alright. Okay. So, now they are bisexual or monoecious or hermaphrodite, and if I talk about their mode of reproduction, they can reproduce by asexually also they can reproduce. So, asexually they can reproduce by fragmentation, or fragmentation is given in NCERT, but the another mode of asexual reproduction is not given, that is budding beta. So, budding can be can be exogenous or endogenous. Endogenous budding is only seen in phylum Porifera. This is very rarely seen in animals, alright. So, exogenous budding can occur in so many sponges, but internal budding or endogenous budding occurs in the freshwater sponges, like I have given you the example of Spongilla, right. So, endogenous budding is also known as gemulation. Why it is known as gemulation? Because in endogenous budding, internal buds are getting formed, and these internal buds are known as gemmules, everyone. So many gemmules will be formed inside the body of the sponge during unfavorable conditions, and when the favorable conditions will return, then each gemmule will give rise to one sponge, alright. So, now what I have told you in the reproduction, I have told you that they are bisexual, then I have told you asexually also they can reproduce by fragmentation and budding, and this is the special case of budding known as gemmulation. Then I am going to tell you that they can also reproduce by sexual reproduction. So, they can show reproduction sexually by fusion of gametes. Fusion of gametes. Never ever you will see fusion of gametes in asexual reproduction. Never you will see fusion of gametes in asexual reproduction. Fusion of gametes occurs only in case of sexual reproduction. So it is a bisexual organism, both the sexes are present, both the gametes will be formed, but there will be a transfer of gametes take place. There will be the fusion of gametes is from, the gametes will be from two another organisms, two different organisms. Why? This type of fertilization is known as cross fertilization. So if it is not given in NCERT, but for your knowledge I am telling you what is cross fertilization and what is self fertilization. In case of bisexual organisms, self fertilization is also possible. Self fertilization is possible how? Because both the sexes are there, both the gametes are getting produced, and if both the gametes are getting produced, both of them can fuse inside the body, so it will be a self fertilization. But in some cases, if one gamete is matured, another is immature, then self fertilization cannot take place. Maybe in the another organism, one of the gamete is produced there and one of the gamete is matured here. Let us suppose two organisms are there. This is one organism, this is another organism. So these two are bisexual. Male gamete is there, female gamete is there. Here also male gamete is there, female gamete is there. Let us suppose that the male gamete is not matured here and female gamete is not matured here. So the male gamete will be released in the water, and by the water the male gamete will come near to the female gamete here, and then inside this organism cross fertilization will take place, fusion of gamete will take place. So both the gametes are not, they don't belong to the same organism. If both the gametes belong to the same organism, self-fertilization. If both the gametes they belong to the different organism, then cross-fertilization. So always in unisexual, always cross-fertilization, but in bisexual, there can be cross-fertilization or there can be self-fertilization. I hope you all are understanding this. After the fusion of gametes, first of all, fusion of gametes will occur inside the body of the sponge. So when the fertilization is taking place inside the body of the sponge, then we will say it is internal fertilization. Internal fertilization. After fertilization, zygote is going to be formed, and this zygote will turn into the larva, and larva will turn into the adult. Okay, larva will turn into the adult. This type of development is known as indirect development. Indirect development. In this case, you are able to see that the zygote is getting converted into the larva first, not getting converted directly into the adult, right? So this is not the direct development, this is indirect development. So everyone, what you have to remember in physiology, first of all, digestion, intracellular. Then all these things, respiration, circulation, excretion, happening through water canal system. Nervous and sensory control is absent. Skeleton is made up of spicules and spongin fibers. In reproduction, you have to remember the sexuality, that they are bisexual. You can see asexual as well as sexual reproduction in them. Asexual reproduction can occur by the fragmentation and budding. Sexual reproduction will take place by the fusion of gametes. This fusion, this fertilization is internal and the development is indirect. Alright, the development is indirect. Coming to the examples, we have seen already the examples of phylum Porifera here. So you have to remember all these three phylums, everyone. One is Cycon, which is commonly known as Scypha. This is Cycon, commonly known as Scypha. Okay, commonly known as Scypha. This is Cycon. A is Cycon here. B is Euspongia. It is also known as bath sponge. Bath sponge, right? Euspongia, bath sponge. And the C figure is Spongilla. This is Spongilla, also known as, I have told you, fresh water sponge. So you just have to remember three examples. Cycon, known as Scypha, then Spongilla, freshwater sponge, and Euspongia, bath sponge. This is Euspongia, bath sponge. So we are done with the phylum Porifera, and now let's talk about the next phylum, that is Coelentrata. Coelentrata phylum is also known as cnidaria. So first of all, I will be explaining you that why these names are given. Just like I have told you Porifera. Porifera name comes from the pores. Sponge's name comes from the pores they have. Similarly, the Coelentrata or cnidaria phylum, Coelentrata term comes from the coelentron. I will be telling you from where this has come. This has come from coelentron. Coelentrata has come from coelentron. So what is coelentron, everyone? Coelentron is a gastrovascular cavity. It is a gastrovascular cavity present in the body of the coelentrates, right? In these kind of animals, there is a cavity in their body that is known as gastrovascular cavity or coelentron. So because of that cavity, they have given the name Coelentrata. Now why they have given this name cnidaria? Because they have a very special cell in their body. The cell is known as cnidoblast. Cnidoblast. So I will be discussing cnidoblast further in the next page. Okay, so because of cnidoblast, because of the presence of cnidoblast, they are known as cnidaria. Because of presence of coelentron, they are known as Coelentrata. So now everyone, you can see these beautiful creatures. They also are aquatic. They live in water, and most of them are also marine. Some of them are freshwater as well. So let's talk about the habitat. Just now I have told you the habitat. They all are aquatic. They all are aquatic. Mostly they are marine, and some are freshwater. Some are living in fresh water. If I give you the example, that is hydra. Here you can see okay, here only Aurelia and Adamsia is given. If you know hydra also has a cylindrical body and it has so many tentacles, right? So that is hydra. If we talk about their habit, beta, so in the previous phylum I have told you they all are sessile. Okay, they can be sessile, they can be free swimming. So they can be sessile or they can be free swimming. They can be free swimmers. Okay, sessile or free swimming. What is the meaning of sessile? You already know the meaning of sessile. And free swimming, they are free. They can move, they can enjoy their life. They can go from one place to another place, right? So they are enjoying their life, but I don't think that the sessile forms are really enjoying their life. Yes? Alright. Anyways, now coming to the next habitat, they can be solitary. Solitary means, you must have seen some people, they are living alone. Okay, they don't have to take anything, they don't feel like talking to other people, and they are just enjoying their own life, and they don't have any they are not interested in talking to anybody, all right, and they are living separately and they are living alone, and they are happy as well. I have seen some of the people like that, but most of us are we like to get social, and we like to talk to each other, and we like the get-togethers, we like to enjoy, all right. So life should be enjoyed like this, but some peoples are different. So just like that, here also some of them are solitary, they are just living alone, and some of them, they would like to have party. Party means not single person can do the party, right? Colony means so many people, when they make a colony, they are known as colonial. So some of them can be solitary, some of them can be colonial, right? For example, I will give you the example of jellyfish. Jellyfish is like alone, it is very happy, all right? Jellyfish is alone very happy. So the example of solitary is jellyfish. Jellyfish. Aurelia. Here you can see Aurelia. Aurelia is jellyfish. Aurelia is jellyfish. So it is solitary, and others are colonial, all right? If I talk about the sessile form, then sessile form is attached to the substratum. So this is a sessile form. Adamsia is a sessile form. This is a sessile form. Adamsia is a sessile form, but again the jellyfish is a free swimming form. Again the jellyfish Aurelia is a free swimming form. Alright, now Coming to the general features, you know all the general features, you know, that means they are radially symmetrical. First of all, they have tissue level of organization. So tissue level of organization was first seen in which phylum? Coelentrata phylum. The tissues have originated first in the Coelentrata phylum. They are radially symmetrical, beta. They are radially symmetrical. Okay, then they are diploblastic because they have two germ layers. They have two germ layers, ectoderm and endoderm, and I have told you that in between there is an undifferentiated jelly-like layer that is known as mesoglia, right? Then these ectoderm and endoderm are making their body wall. So in the body wall also you will see three layers here. The outermost layer is formed by the ectoderm, so that is known as epidermis. So epidermis is outermost layer of their body wall, outermost layer, and it is formed by ectoderm. It is formed by ectoderm. If you will see the innermost layer, that is known as gastrodermis. Gastrodermis. So gastrodermis is the innermost layer, and in between you will see that mesoglia, undifferentiated jelly-like layer. So innermost layer is formed by endoderm. So this is known as gastrodermis and this is known as epidermis. So similarly, just like Porifera, they also have three layers in the body wall: ectodermis or epidermis, mesoglia, and then endodermis or gastrodermis. All right. Then so that is why they are diploblastic. Then what else you can write? They don't have mesoderm, right? So how can they have coelom? They also don't have coelom. So they are also acoelomates. If I talk about their body plan, I have told you that they have blind sac body plan. If they have blind sac body plan, then their digestive system is incomplete. So in the physiology, I will be writing the digestive system is incomplete, right? So these are the general features level of. So now you all got to know about the habitat of the Coelentrata, general features which we have already talked about in the basis of classification, then the body wall. Now I would like to tell that on their body they have a very important cell. Because of that I have told you the name, the cnidaria name has come, and that is going to become the characteristic feature of this phylum Coelentrata. So let's talk about the characteristic feature, and this cnidoblast you can see here also. I have included this from the NCERT, cnidoblast, very interesting cell. Okay, you will find it very interesting. So what is this cnidoblast? Characteristic feature is cnidoblast. What is this cnidoblast? This is a cell. This cell is present on its body and tentacles. They have tentacles, all right. They have tentacles in their body, and on those tentacles also these cnidoblasts are present. But these cnidoblasts are not present on the basal surface of their body, all right. So it is present on their body and tentacles. Now these cnidoblasts, they have a capsule. That capsule has a name. It can also be called as stinging capsule. Okay, this stinging capsule can also be called as nematocyst. So here, see, this is a kind of cell. And in this cell there is a capsule. So I will be showing you the capsule here. This is the stinging capsule, beta. This is the stinging capsule, all right. And here in this stinging capsule there is a shaft. This is the shaft, and to this shaft a coiled tube is there. Okay, a coiled tube is there which is attached with this shaft. This is that coiled tube. Okay, this is that coiled tube, and this thread tube can release toxin. alright. This is the thread tube. Where should I write this? This is the thread tube. So here also you can see the thread tube beta. Here also you can see the thread tube has released. Okay, there is a cover here, there is a cover here, and that cover is known as operculum, the lid. There is a lid of this cell, and there is a sensory structure in this cell that is known as cnidocil. That is known as cnidocil. This is the nucleus of this cell. Then there is a lasso in this cell. This is known as a spiral shaped structure. Here you can see lasso. This is what? Lasso. So it prevents the spontaneous discharge. So what all is you have to remember here? You have to remember this cnidoblast, where it is present, what is its function, what is there inside. Inside there is a stinging capsule. So this is the stinging capsule. What is the stinging capsule here? This is the stinging capsule. This you can see the stinging capsule, and in this stinging capsule there is a shaft. So you can tell that this is the shaft. This is the shaft here. You can see some spines also, they are present here, spines, and this is the thread tube. So this thread tube will discharge, it will release the toxin, alright. This thread tube is going to release the toxin beta, is going to release the toxin. So when it is going to get discharged out, now this is a closed cell, when it will be discharging this thread tube, whenever any stimulus will be received by this structure you can see here, this structure is cnidocil. This structure is cnidocil. So this structure is a sensory structure, and when this cnidocil is going to receive any stimulus of the prey or any other animal is going to harm this this cnidaria, okay, so then it will receive the stimulus. Whenever this cnidocil will receive the stimulus, then there will be some change in the permeability of this cell, and then the shaft will come out of this capsule. Can you see the capsule here? Okay, from this capsule the shaft will come out. You can also see the cnidocil here. You can also see the cover, operculum. Now it has opened. Alright, so then the cover, the operculum will get open, the shaft will go out, and the thread tube is going to be discharged, and this will be releasing the toxin. The toxin will paralyze. The toxin is a neurotoxin. It will act on the nervous system, and it might paralyze the prey. Okay, so then that's how this cell helps in the capture of prey. So what are the functions of cnidoblast? If we talk about the functions of cnidoblast, then what are the functions of cnidoblast? First of all, it also helps in the anchorage. Anchorage is not that anchorage. This is AN. Not that anchorage like you have to encourage yourselves, you have to get motivated towards your goal like that. So this is the anchorage, means attachment. Here the anchorage means attachment. So this anchorage is this. Anchorage. This anchorage is attachment. Attachment. So it helps in the attachment, okay, to any surface. Then it also helps in the capture of prey. Capture of prey. And it also helps in the defense. Defense. It also helps in the defense. So these are the three important functions of cnidoblast. Alright. Now, so I have told you everything about the cnidoblast. So you just have to remember the location of cnidoblast, function of cnidoblast, and little bit about the structure of cnidoblast, because this is the diagrammatic view of cnidoblast which is given in NCERT. Alright, so you can see here there is a capsule which is written also in NCERT, that it has a stinging capsule that is also known as nematocyst. So what is nematocyst? Nematocyst is stinging capsule. Alright, so someone is asking, ma'am, define cells in mesoglea. Beta, mesoglea is an undifferentiated layer, so the cells will not be performing any defined function. Alright, so mesoglea is an undifferentiated. Undifferentiated means it does not have any function to perform. Alright, okay. So now coming to the physiology. So I have talked about the characteristic feature. Now I will be talking of the physiology of the coelentrates. So if we talk about the physiology, first of all we need to discuss the digestion. So I have already told you incomplete alimentary canal, incomplete alimentary canal, because I have told you blind sac body plan, only single pore. If I will draw here, there is single pore, and then this is the structure which is present below the mouth, and this is the body, alright, and this is the body. So, and these are the tentacles, okay, near to the mouth. So here you can see, this is the single opening which you can tell mouth, and it is written in NCERT, below mouth there is a part known as hypostome beta, hypostome. What is the meaning of hypo? Hypo means below, stome means mouth. So hypostome is present below mouth, okay, and this is the single opening through which the food is entering and the food is going out, the undigested food that will go out. So this opening is serving for the ingestion as well as the egestion, right? So here you can see a cavity here that is known as gastrovascular cavity. I have already told you the gastrovascular cavity. Because of this cavity, the name is Coelentrata, because this cavity is also known as coelenteron. So if we talk about digestion, incomplete digestive system and a little bit space is less here, but I will write it down. So if I talk about the digestion, incomplete alimentary canal, and the digestion is first extracellular and then intracellular. Are you understanding extracellular and intracellular? That means first the food will come into this gastrovascular cavity and then it is going to be digested here in the gastrovascular cavity. So in the gastrovascular cavity, the extracellular digestion will be performed, and then the partially digested food is going to enter into the cells of gastrodermis, because gastrodermis is the innermost layer, right? So then intracellular digestion will also take place. So both extracellular and intracellular digestion. Respiration occurs through simple diffusion. By general body surface the respiration will be taking place. Circulation, again it occurs through the gastrovascular cavity. I am writing in short GVC. Excretion, they are also ammonotelic, they will be releasing ammonia. So that is also by simple diffusion. It will go out of the body through simple diffusion. And then for nervous system, they have apolar neurons. If we talk about the sensory control, they have a balancing organ that is known as statocyst, and this statocyst is also present on the tentacles. So statocyst is a balancing organ and it is present on tentacles. So here I have shown you, these are tentacles, right? Then if I talk about skeleton beta, skeleton in some of the porifera, they have a calcareous exoskeleton, and those porifera are known as corals. Coelentrata. I am so sorry. Coelentrata. I am talking about skeleton. We have already talked about in porifera. So there it is, spicules and sponge and fiber. Here we are talking about the exoskeleton again. Corals have calcareous exoskeleton. The exoskeleton made up of calcium carbonate. Exoskeleton. You must have heard of coral reefs. So those coral reefs are formed by the corals only. And what are these corals? These corals are those cnidarians which have calcareous exoskeleton. They have a hard covering on their body, and that is why we are calling them by this name coral. So you must have heard of corals, right? If we talk about reproduction beta, then it is not mentioned in NCERT, But I will tell you, in NCERT something else is mentioned, sexual reproduction will also take place, asexual reproduction will also take place, but there are different types of animals. Okay, so you can simply write in reproduction sexual and asexual reproduction. You can write sexual and asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is seen. So in asexual reproduction, again the same thing, budding will also take place, so fragmentation will also take place. So in asexual reproduction you can simply write budding and fragmentation. Budding and fragmentation. If we talk about sexual reproduction, that is going to happen by transfer of gametes again. So let me explain you let me explain you Coelentrata, and another characteristic feature of Coelentrata. Alright, here I am going to explain you. So, Coelentrates shows polymorphism beta, polymorphism. What is the meaning of polymorphism? Poly means many, morph means forms. So they can exist in different forms. They can exist in more than one form. So how many forms we are going to see in the phylum Coelentrata? 2 forms. So you can also tell that they are dimorphic, alright. So polymorphic also we are saying. So exist in 2 different forms. And if we talk about these 2 different forms, then these 2 different forms are, one is polyp and one is medusa. One is polyp and one is medusa. You have to remember these terms. Whenever the question is coming from Coelentrata, this is the important part from where question is coming, right? So polyp is a cylindrical form. Polyp is a cylindrical form first of all. Polyp is a cylindrical form and medusa is an umbrella shaped form. Umbrella shaped form. Alright, then polyp is a sessile form. Polyp is a sessile form and medusa is a free swimming form. Free swimming form. Then polyp reproduces asexually. So that's what I have told you. Reproduction is sexual as well as asexual. So which form reproduces asexually? Polyp form. You have to remember this. So very, very important. And medusa reproduces sexually. Alright. So there are some of the animals which live in only polyp form throughout their life. Throughout their lifetime, they live in only polyp form. So I will be giving you the examples. Only polyp. Only polyp. For example, hydra, adamsia, hydra, adamsia. Alright. They live in only polyp form. They are found in only polyp form. But some are found in only medusa form. Only medusa form. For example, Aurelia. Aurelia is jellyfish. Aurelia found in only medusa form. But there are some which shows polymorphism which found in both forms, right? So there are some organisms found in both forms. And those who are found in both forms, they show metagenesis. They show a very, very important phenomena that is known as metagenesis. Metagenesis. What is this metagenesis? Metagenesis is alternation in generation of polyp and medusa. Polyp and medusa. Alternation in generation of polyp and medusa. For example, Obelia, Physalia, Obelia, Physalia. These are the animals, these are the cnidaria which exist in both forms beta. So how they exist in both forms, how they are showing metagenesis, let me tell you here. Let us suppose we have Obelia in polyp form, alright. It is 2n diploid and the polyp form is going to reproduce. So if I have told you already that polyp form will be reproducing asexually, right? I have told you already, and medusa form will be reproducing sexually. So polyp form will give rise to the next generation. Its next generation is going to be of which form? Asexually it will produce medusa, and medusa is a sexually reproducing form. So there will be a male and female of medusa form of Obelia or Physalia, and then there is going to be the fusion of gametes, fertilization, sexual reproduction. By that sexual reproduction, it is going to form in the next generation. When it will reproduce, it will form the offsprings of polyp form. So asexually polyp is going to convert into the medusa. Convert means the organism is not going to get convert itself. It is going to reproduce. It is going to form its progeny. So some of the some of the coelentrates like Obelia and Physalia, they are reproducing in this manner. They are showing polymorphism as well as metagenesis. All those cnidaria which are showing polymorphism, they also show metagenesis. Very, very important thing. Alright. Polymorphism means they are existing in both the forms. So how they are existing in both the forms? If it is once present in the polyp form, then when it will reproduce, it will form the medusa form. So the next generation will be going to be of medusa form. Then medusa form, if it is present in the medusa form, then it is going to reproduce sexually to form the polyp form. Some of the coelentrates, they are either only in polyp form or only in medusa form. For example, I have given you Hydra Adamsia only polyp, Aurelia only medusa. So they are not showing any kind of polymorphism, they are not showing any kind of metagenesis. Alright. So I hope this concept is clear to everyone. Now this is a very, very important concept, because from here the questions are going to come. So now if we talk about reproduction, I have already told you sexual reproduction as well as asexual reproduction. But now you will ask, ma'am, what is the sexuality of these animals? What is the sexuality? So if I talk about the sexuality, some of them are unisexual. So they can be unisexual, or they can be bisexual, or they can be, very interestingly, they can be both. But this is not mentioned in NCERT. Okay, I am telling you, but this is not mentioned in NCERT. Both, how come they can be both? Both means some species of Hydra are unisexual and some species of Hydra are bisexual. Alright, so both. Example, Hydra. Example, Hydra. If we talk about the fertilization here, so fertilization is external. It also can be of both the types, external or internal, but mostly it is external, and even the development is also of both the types, that is direct or indirect, but all these things are not given in NCERT. All these things are not going to be asked. If the question is asked from the phylum Coelentrata, then either it is asked on the cnidoblast, stinging capsule, stinging cell, or else it will be asked on the polymorphism, polyp or medusa, the examples of polyp and medusa, what is polymorphism, what is metagenesis. All this is very, very important. Then we are left with the examples of it. So let me tell you examples on the next page. Let me tell you examples also. So I have told you some of the examples like Hydra. Yes, Hydra is commonly known as freshwater polyp. Freshwater polyp. So this is telling you the habitat. This is not marine, this is freshwater, and this is not living in the medusa form, this is living in the polyp form. Then another example, Physalia. Physalia is commonly known as Portuguese men of war. Portuguese man of war. Then if we talk about Pennatula, it is sea pen. Sea pen. Pennatula. So easily you can remember pen, Pennatula. Okay. Physalia. P for Physalia, P for Portuguese men of war. Then if we talk about Obelia, Obelia is sea fur. Alright. Then there is a sea fan also, that is Gorgonia. Gorgonia is sea fan. Then there is Meandrina. Meandrina. Meandrina is brain coral. Brain coral, because its appearance is just like brain. Its appearance is just like cerebrum. So Gorgonia is sea fan. It looks like a Japanese fan. Alright. Then sea pen, Pennatula, it looks like a pen. For example, the pen used to be in the ancient times, the pen which we were using, a feather like pen, right? That is Pennatula. So that is the appearance. Physalia, the appearance is, it looks like a Portuguese man is coming for the war. It looks like that. So that is why all these names are given. So we are done here with the Coelentrata. Then the last phylum which we are going to study today, it is very, very small, simple, easy. Alright. So in Coelentrata, we have talked about all the habitat, general features, body wall. But the important point is about the cnidoblast. You have to remember cnidoblast. Then you have to remember the polymorphism and metagenesis, and the examples are important. Now coming to the next phylum, Ctenophora, everyone. Ctenophora. There are so many similarities between Coelentrata and Ctenophora. And you know what? Earlier we were studying them together. Earlier, many times, like many years, it has been many years. At that time we were studying both of them together, all the phylums, all the animals together, because they are sharing so many features. So here we will be talking about the characteristic features. Okay, cnidoblasts are not present in Ctenophora. Alright, and in Ctenophora they are exclusively marine. You will not see any freshwater form here. So first of all, commonly known as sea walnuts. Sea walnuts, that means they are only and only found in sea. Okay, and they are also known as comb jellies. So why they are known as comb jellies? Because you can see in this animal, if you will see this structure, you can see these comb plates, and in these comb plates there are cilia. So these are ciliated comb plates. These are ciliated comb plates. And we have seen tentacles in the previous phylum. Here also you will see tentacles. Can you see tentacles? And these are the two tentacles. These are tentacles. If tentacles are present, then they will always be 2 in number. Okay, that's what we are getting from the figure. So why they are known as comb jellies? Because they have 8. They have 8 median. Median means they are coming from the middle. They have 8 median ciliated, because they have cilia, ciliated comb plates, and they help in, these ciliated comb plates, they help in locomotion. They help in locomotion. So that means what is the habit? Habit is they are free swimming. They are swimming now, they are showing locomotion. So they are free swimming. They are free swimming. They are exclusively marine. Exclusively marine. Then about the general features, they are same. They have tissue level of organization. They have 2 germ layers. So they are diploblastic. Alright. They have they are acoelomates, and they have radial symmetry, they have blind sac body plan, everything is same, blind sac body plan, everything is same. If we talk about the body wall and physiology, it is exactly same as cnidarians, it is exactly same as cnidarians, except, tell me what is the exception? Except cnidoblast, they don't have these stinging cells, cnidoblast. That is why we have separated them, and that is why we have given them the name cnidaria. They are ctenophores, alright, and they are cnidaria. So now exactly same as cnidarians except cnidoblast. So we are done with the body wall and physiology. Now let me tell you the characteristic feature, beta. Let me tell you the characteristic feature. They show bioluminescence, very important. They show bioluminescence. Bioluminescence. What is bioluminescence? Bio means living. Luminescence means illuminating the light. So if the light is emitted by a living organism emitting light, this is the property known as bioluminescence. Property of a living organism, property of a living organism to emit light. So they are emitting light, this is bioluminescence. Examples, and okay, in physiology reproduction is not exactly same, so we are going to understand the reproduction and then I am going to give you the examples. So examples are only two. Here you can see the figure of pleurobrachia. So one example is pleurobrachia and another example is Ctenoplana. Only these two examples are given in NCERT, Ctenoplana. If we talk about the reproduction, beta, if we talk about the reproduction, so they are showing only sexual mode of reproduction, only sexual mode. This is exactly the line of NCERT, Sexual mode of reproduction. They are hermaphrodite. There is external fertilization, and there is indirect development. So this you have to remember about Ctenophora. So if you will read NCERT now, you will understand each and every line of NCERT about phylum Porifera, about phylum Coelentrata, and about phylum Ctenophora. Try reading NCERT today itself, or whenever you will see this lecture. Just after completing this lecture, you have to go to NCERT, you have to read NCERT each and every line, and you have to understand NCERT. If you are not understanding NCERT, please tell me in the comments, alright, and please share this session with all your friends who are facing difficulty in understanding animal kingdom. So I will make sure that all of you, all the class 11 students and all the students who are in class 12 preparing for NEET exam, I want all of you to understand this animal kingdom very well. Alright, I don't want you to face any difficulty in this chapter, animal kingdom, so that you will not be losing marks in your NEET exam if the questions are coming from the animal kingdom. So we are studying it in a very simple manner, and we are including all the points of NCERT. Okay, so just read it well, just watch this session. If your friends are facing problem, please share this session with all those friends and help them out in understanding animal kingdom. Alright, so I will be coming again with another session of animal kingdom, and I will be teaching you the next 3 phylums in the next session. Alright, So thank you so much for watching, and please take care of yourselves. Bye bye, take care. Good evening all of you.